Hi everyone, so last Wednesday, we thought it'd be a good idea to do a Q&A because we've not done one in a while, and honestly, I know we say this every time, but I was expecting like 10 questions, and I was like, that's fine, we can do those in a single video. Well, you know, you guys came out in droves, and we've got over 40 questions, so we do want to answer them all, but I think we're going to have to split this video up a little bit.
What's really nice is seeing some questions that we haven't seen before, and we're going to be going through these in no particular order because it's always a nightmare to try and sort them. So we're just kind of going to go through and yeah, let's get to it.
Do it.
I don't know if anyone gets that reference.
If you get that reference, comment below and let me know what it is, and everyone will be like, it's a reference to what?
Okay.
Oh, okay, I remember the references. Sorry, I was like, it's the reference. So just because I am terrible at reading anything, I always skip words or mispronounce things, Ash is going to read the questions, so they're nice and articulate and well-versed, rather than me going, what do you like? No, I'm not that bad, but like I do miss words quite a bit when I'm talking.
Well, now there's pressure on me not to mess up.
It's fine, we can edit it out.
Do you keep your condiments in the cupboard or the fridge? And that's from Crispy Small.
This is such a random one, but I understand why, because I think we had this conversation about chocolate when we were at Thorpe Park. We actually have spoken about this because I saw this comment come through when we first started the video. We've done both in our lifetime. I don't feel we need to dwell on this question too much, but...
Well, I mean, for me, I have a huge sauce and condiment collection that all lives in a cupboard. But then I also have a smaller condiment selection that lives in the fridge. So it's a bit of a cop-out, but the answer is actually both. And it depends on the specific condiment in question and whether I think that would last longer better in the fridge or in the cupboard. Like, I've got some quite expensive to buy hot sauces actually that I bought, and I paid loads for them for a sauce. And so they live in the fridge because I'm like, look, that's got to live in the fridge. It's got to last as long as possible. Whereas some of the other stuff, I'm like, there, I can live in a cupboard. It'll be all right.
When it comes to ketchup, for us it's the cupboard.
It is the cupboard.
Because it just, I can't eat hot and cold together.
No, you're really weird like that.
It gives me a stomach ache. So really cold ketchup on hot chips just stresses me out. Which I think leads into the next question from Mark and Jem.
Well, yeah, no, the next one, yeah, if in the cupboard, why? You heathens, from Mark and Jem. And honestly, it's because there's too much for
I don't need to explain myself to you, Mark and Jem. You know why. Because it's right.
We'd run out of fridge space very, very quickly if I had all of my hot sauces, barbecue sauces, all of the other stuff that I've got in the fridge. There'd be no space.
We need a fridge dedicated to sauce.
Maybe. Maybe that's the next thing we get.
And a freezer dedicated to ice cream.
To add on from the s'mores question...
This was a really weird thread to read through because I was like picking the questions. I was like, everyone just keeps adding.
Where do you keep your eggs? And that's from Caroline, from Sean and Caroline.
Caroline and Sean, you do this every time.
It just flows better when I say it like that.
I don't know. Caroline and Sean sounds better to me than Sean and Caroline.
Caroline and Sean. I find that harder.
That's weird.
Yeah, I prefer the S's, the Sean and Caroline, and then that's just how I would speak, and that's how I would phrase it.
Okay, sorry, what was the question? I was too busy dwelling on the name.
Where do you keep your eggs? And we keep them on the side.
Yes, because I've always kept my eggs in the fridge, but you told me no. You don't buy them from the fridge.
No.
That's fair.
And you absolutely, in this country at least, don't need to keep them in the fridge.
But tell me the fact. Oh, tell me the fact.
In America, because they are washed extra aggressively, they wash off an outer layer of protective coating, so you do have to keep them in the fridge. Whereas over here, we've kind of got the choice, and it doesn't really matter. The salmonella presence in our eggs is so ridiculously low, and they have that extra layer intact. We get to choose, and we pick the side for no reason.
That is a good egg fact for someone who doesn't like eggs.
Yeah.
Another fact, Ash does not eat eggs.
I do not eat eggs. I can't stand them. I think they're weird.
You're not clicking they're done when we've done them. Okay.
Next up, it is another question from Mark and Jem. What are your best 2 table service credits and why?
Best 2 table service credits or best their 2 credits?
Best 2 table service credit restaurants. So the 2 table service credit.
Yachtsman.
Yeah, 100%. We really, really enjoyed that meal.
And I've already got a vibe about Jaico. I've already got a vibe that's going to be up there as well.
For me, a close second is California Grill.
Least favourite though, Cinderella's Royal Table. Wait, was that 2? Yes, Cinderella's Royal Table. That is a waste of 2 credits.
That was an absolute waste. We really, really messed up picking that.
For pastries.
Yeah, it wasn't
No, we
worth
didn't
it.
mess up. I wanted to go in the castle, which I wouldn't do it again.
If you could only eat one chocolate bar for the rest of your life, what one would it be? From Caroline.
Oh.
From Sean and Caroline.
It's Caroline Sean. I already know my answer. What would you pick?
I don't know. I don't eat a lot of chocolate bars. I think it would have to be between a Mars bar and a Crunchy, because those are like the two that I buy the most. And I think I'd have to go Mars bar.
My answer is Yorkie Raisin and Biscuit. That thing is amazing.
It is pretty good, but I haven't had one in such a long time.
I
that
gave
know
you a bit of mine the other day.
I know, and that was the first time I'd had one in like 5 years, so I clearly can't miss it that much. Whereas every now and again, whenever I'm in a shop, I'm like, you know what? I really want a Mars bar, which I then put in the fridge so it's nice and cold, because fridge chocolate is the best chocolate.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Or freezer chocolate's even better. My favourite like multi-pack chocolate, Twirls. But my favourite, I'm going to buy a bar of chocolate, is Yorkie. I don't buy that in multi-packs. I find that weird. I don't know why. Maybe because I'd eat them more.
What Tsum Tsum series do you want Disney to release next? From Caroline.
Yeah, she's getting all the questions.
Yeah.
Caroline from Caroline and Sean.
From Sean and Caroline.
I know Sean would appreciate that.
It's not a preference thing. I just want to make that clear. Like, I don't say...
Well, that is what their channel's called, Caroline and Sean.
Yeah, I know, but I just can't say it that way. I find it harder to say those words.
It stresses me out when people call us Ash and Sarah. I'm like, Sarah and Ash. Sounds better.
Well, that to me is like what I feel about the phrasing for the other bit, but
Right.
you do it because you like to be first. Anyway.
A Goofy movie.
That would be a really, really cool collection.
Yeah, it would. And it has to have the Yeti in it, dancing to Staying Alive by the Bee Gees as well. With his little headphones in. Yeah. And then if they're going to do a micro series, which they kind of always do at the moment, it'll be in their car.
What is your favourite thing to do together on a rainy day? From Kerry.
Be away from each other.
That's not a good answer.
We like to watch movies.
I think we just really like being inside and just looking at the outside and going, we're not out there. That's great.
Hermits. being a little hermit. We sit and we watch films and TV together.
Yeah.
And I'll get a hot chocolate and you'll have a wine.
Yeah, that sounds very like me, or like another alcoholic cocktail type beverage. And you know, sometimes we'll play board games, which is fun. We haven't done that in a while, but that's a really good rainy day activity.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's mostly just enjoy not being outside in the wet and just sort of going, yeah, not outside. It's pretty good right now. Hi, how regular are the Disney buses to the parks and what time do they usually start running? Myself and my partner are visiting Disney for the first time next year and we are just looking into booking our breakfast reservations. Can't wait. From Molly.
Okay, so they were, I don't know if they are, every 20 minutes-ish. Sometimes you get two at the same time, that's really annoying, but that's just buses. And they start an hour before the park opens.
Yeah.
I remember looking this up because we had an 8 o'clock reservation. And I was like, but what time can we get the bus? From 7, that's fine. And we did, we got the 7 o'clock bus. And if you do have a really early reservation that you're worried about, I remember specifically that you could ask at reception of your hotel to make sure that there was a bus coming to get you. Only if you're going to like a park, you can't do it to the resort.
This one is a long one. Are you going to do any special events tours like Behind the Seeds, Caring for Giants, or any lunches like the ones with the Imagineers or Animal Care staff? Also, are you doing any challenges like 4 parks in one day, drinking or eating around the world, and what are your outside of Disney planning process? I would like to hear particularly about Universal. Any restaurants you are eating at there? Sorry, a lot of questions come to mind. From Stacey.
Stacey, there's a lot of questions.
There is a lot of questions.
So let's break them down.
Lightning round. Any tours?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I would really like you to do... I forget, there's 2 that sound really similar to me.
There's Keys to the Kingdom.
And Backstage Magic.
Backstage Magic.
The one that's in Magic Kingdom, I would like you to do because I think you would really like it.
I'm more on the fence about it purely because I think it would eat up a lot of our time from the day, and unfortunately I've seen a lot of like the content of the tour online already. I've seen photos and I know that you're all like, oh, it's not the same, but I really liked doing the Living with the Land one because that was a really nice ride that we both like, whereas with the Magic Kingdom one it's a bit more general and I'm not like, yeah, we should do this, and you've already like kind of seen all that stuff from when you were a cast member, so it's less exciting for you. So I don't know, I'm more on the fence about it.
But as someone who's done that, I think you'll really like it. And I'm going to speak to Mark and Jem because I know they did it and I'm going to get their full opinions. And then I do have a day set aside that we could fit it in. So we'll see.
We will see. Okay, next up, are you doing any challenges like 4 parks in one day, drinking or eating around the world?
No, is the short answer. We were looking at doing drinking around the world last time, and honestly, it's very hot.
It was very hot, and while I could definitely do it, I know you don't think that I could, I definitely could. It seems like, again, like a big kind of like eater up of a day. It takes up a lot of time, and then there's also the next day to deal with. Like, it would really have to be a day where it's like, okay, you're spending all day in Epcot on the World Showcase, and you also don't have anything to do tomorrow that's going to be interrupted by you having a massive hangover.
And also it's really expensive. I believe I wasn't old enough during my program to do it, but I think some of the other people did, and it was like $160.
Which I'm kind of down for. This next question is one for you, which is, Sarah, why don't you become a travel agent? I think you'd be good at it.
I also think I'd be really good at it. And that's... I don't... The reason I haven't is because I don't really know how. I would only really want to do Disney.
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a specialisation to be...
I had a look at the places that do it, like Kenwood and Ocean, Florida and things like that, but none of their offices are near us. So the only place that would is Virgin Holidays in Debenhams, but there's like 3 people that work there. So.
And it's a very, very small shop area, so perhaps not.
Some people say do it freelance, but I honestly don't know how.
You just tell people that you've started to do it, and then they pay you and you do it. It's doesn't Disney? I don't really understand. I don't really understand, if I'm honest, and I haven't really looked into that much, because if you pay me in like food and drink and stuff and just enjoy my company, I'd be more than happy to come over and arrange a holiday for you. You have done that for several people that we know, so yeah, you know, it's an option maybe.
Just for the lols.
Of the new changes since your last visit, what are you most looking forward to checking out?
Disney Springs.
Yeah, Disney Springs. Now that it's finally finished, it wasn't finished when we last went.
It was barely started when we last went.
It was amazing when we last went though. And
it
wasn't
the little
even
bit that was
done.
finished.
Like,
just the boathouse section,
Yeah, it was really, really nice. We had a really good time. We enjoyed spending time there a lot. And it wasn't even done. Now it's better. So we're very much looking forward to going back and spending some time on an evening there.
Yes. I said that really weirdly. Yes.
For Ash, as a fellow pizza fanatic, what do you think of Via Napoli at Epcot? I didn't care for it, but lots of people rave about it. As far as I'm concerned, Blaze Pizza at Disney Springs is a million times better.
Oh, see, we have spoken literally the other day about Via Napoli because we have 2 credits left that I cannot think of what to do with, which sounds really weird, but like...
We'll find something for it, but one of your suggestions was, do you want to go to Via Napoli? And I said no, purely because we haven't eaten there before, so I don't know how good it is, but I really like the look of Blaze better. I like the look of the place, I like the look of the pizzas that they're producing, I really like how quick it is, and it's... I really want to eat at Blaze, and I don't want to do 2 pizza heavy meals on the trip, because I like pizza, but that's a lot of carbs, a lot of cheese.
You
it's
haven't eaten pizza for dinner like the last 4 or 5 days in a row.
Yeah. And I think that we should do something different on the holiday, so we want to do one of them, and I think it should be Blaze. Yes. So it is good to know that someone else also thinks that.
I think it's going to be our first night meal as well, if we don't go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
For Sarah, in your professional opinion, as a former Animal Kingdom cast member, how many parents regretted taking their kids on It's Tough to Be a Bug after that scene with the wasps?
I honestly haven't done It's Tough to Be a Bug since 2008 because it terrifies me because there's spiders in it. But as someone, when I worked the second half as a custodial around that area, I can say a lot of people brought their kids out. But they just walked out halfway through the show, so it wasn't overly traumatic, but it happened a lot. Although this one time, I don't know if I mentioned this actually before, a kid was so freaked out and he wanted to get out, he ran out and smacked his face into the stone that was there and knocked one of his teeth out. And it was blood everywhere and I had to clear it up and I was like, oh, I was about to go on lunch.
Great.
So I'd share that story with you, completely out of context, but there you go.
And this is one from Scott as well. The last few questions were, what other Disney vloggers do you follow that you would recommend?
Mark and Jem.
Caroline and Sean.
Crispy Small. I'm going to forget something I really... Oh, Gillian at Home, who's currently doing a new series. Love her and her sister.
Very much. They are incredibly entertaining.
Adam Hatton, because he's out there doing the programme at the moment. I'm
Spoonful of Sugar?
Spoonful of Sugar. I'm going to forget Living the Dream. They do really good like videos of like dining locations, resort tours and things like that. So I really like what Clayton and Pip have done with that. I'm going to forget some and I'm going to be really annoyed at myself.
There are far too many to list off. This was something that we were thinking about doing as a mini video sometime, so we might still do that. Otherwise, just check out our Twitter and our Instagram and see the people that we follow. There are a huge number of great vlogs out there, and yeah, there's loads of choice, so just have a little look and see which ones you really enjoy too. Ash, what is it like working day to day as a programmer? Much overtime involved? Not really, to be honest. I've just changed jobs from where I was working at before. It was in a college, actually.
You can talk about it now, can't you?
I can, yeah. I don't work there anymore. So I was their in-house web developer, and there wasn't really much overtime required.
You wouldn't do it anyway.
There is a certain level of I do like to maintain a really nice work-life balance, but also, as with my current job, I am the sole developer. So there's not really like impossible to meet deadlines delivering to a client, because the client is the people that I'm directly working for. I'm not working in a development house that's doing stuff for other people. It's like, hey, we want this feature, and it's like, great, cool, I will do this feature, and there's not really that pressure to get it done by a certain date. If there is, usually I can get it done beforehand. I'm quite good at knowing how long something's going to take and letting them know in advance. So I've never really had to do like that classic kind of programmer working 60 hours a week overtime, which is nice because I don't think I'd really cope well with that. That's too much code. But otherwise, I do really enjoy it, and I do like coding, so it works out pretty well. Sarah, what was the degree you studied at uni? I know it's film related, but I can't remember what it was.
You literally hit the nail on the head. It was film.
Yeah.
Film, specialising in film editing and film directing. So basically what we do for our videos, I'm just like, put this here, do this, I'll edit this. That's what I did as a degree. And it is really annoying for Ash, because we'll watch films, and because I know all the building blocks and the tropes of films, I'll know the ending before, like, we'll get 2 minutes in, I was like, I know what's going to happen at the end. And Ash will be like, don't tell me. I'm like, do you want me to tell you? And then I'll always tell him.
Yeah, it's
and
very
like,
annoying.
What were we watching the other day? There was something else. Oh, it was Death Note. I know, it's like,
yeah,
it's like the Netflix version. Like 3 seconds in, I was like, oh, not 3 seconds, like 3 minutes in, I was like, I know what's going to happen at the end.
And you were pretty on it.
Yeah. It's so obvious to me, because it's like when I was watching £7 with like Will Smith, like this, it's just so obvious, but it's just because I know it. So I've like ruined films for myself. That's what I studied. It
is interesting the things you can pick up. One of the things that I would like to ruin for everyone right now is in sort of TV program editing, where something gets a huge amount of focus on it. Like you can tell that one thing is being focused on more than other things are in proportion, and you just know that that's gonna come back later, that's gonna be a thing, because someone, an editor with hindsight that's seen how the whole situation has played out, has gone, this little moment here is important. And it just kind of ruins it, because you kind of know how things are going to go.
Can I quickly ruin 2 more things for everyone?
Yes, let's do it.
Unrealistic lights. So when you're watching anything, watch where the light's coming from and be like, how is that even lit? Sometimes it'll be underneath. Sometimes there'll be a window here so light will come in, and then the shot will flip and the window will be coming from the other side. And also close-ups, seeing the camera lens in people's eyes, especially in the movies.
And not even camera lenses. Also lights, like you can see, like if you look closely in our eyes, the big square softbox we have off over there and the one off over there, and that's kind of okay because you know this is a setup video. When it's like this is supposed to be some guy in a study by himself, Gotham was particularly bad for this. Like the shot was really moody and ambiently lit, and then they'd go in for a close-up and you'd see like 6 octaboxes in the corners, and you're like, ruins it a little bit now that I can see this, and now you can see this too.
So, you know, there you go.
Any chance of a vlog tour of Southampton uni areas / town? I went to Solent screenwriting and I'm back in Ireland now, so would love to see how it all looks again.
I think we might do. I think if we're going to do it anytime, it's going to be when we have some friends down, because they'll want to see. So we've got some friends maybe visiting that really want to see the city, so we'll probably do it then and show everyone the sights. We want to go to maybe like the Titanic Museum and things like that. Maybe
do kind of a couple of the other things that we don't usually do just because we live here. Otherwise, just keep watching the weekend vlogs. Like we kind of do go into town quite a bit, so you can see what the high street looks like and which shops are closed now. And, or whenever we go to the Watermark, you can see all the awesome new restaurants that we have. That is a good part I do really like. What new experiences are you two most looking forward to on your Florida trip? In November, my fiance and I are going to Disney for the first time since we were kids, so we have a massive amount of new experiences to be excited about.
I have to say, and as much as I'm always envious of people going every year or a couple times a year, I like that we stagger it. I used to go every year, and there were some things I just skipped because I did that loads last year. I like that we leave it so long that there are so many new things for us to see. There's King Kong, there's Soaring, there's Disney Springs, there's Pandora, there's what else has changed? There's loads more, I can't even think. The Frozen Ever After.
Yep, that's all new. Avatar, that entire land.
Yeah, the Pandora.
Yeah, sorry, you said Pandora.
Rivers of Light. All things we've not seen before, and I've been so good at just, as soon as anyone watches it, I mute it and close my eyes until it's done. And then, so I haven't seen any of it yet. So
yeah, there is a lot to be excited about, and it is kind of nice when you have gone after a long break. I mean, going since you were kids, that's quite a long time, so you're going to have an amazing time. Everything is going to be different, but it is quite nice sometimes to leave that little bit of a gap between your trips. If you could choose a theme for a Disney restaurant, what would you choose and why? I would have picked space, and they're doing that, so great.
I would pick... I would pick Big Hero 6 themed, so like a San Francisco, like the seafood dock Japan mix.
Yeah, like a mashup of
fusion.
Yeah, fusion cuisine. You just want gyoza and mochi in the parks, don't you?
Yeah.
So we're going to take a little bit of a break here. There are loads and loads of questions and we've still got plenty to get through. So we're going to stop now and we'll pick this up next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this video. Really hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and why not subscribe to our channel. You can also check out one of our other videos that should be on screen right about now.